Welcome to 3 Deep Golf, and welcome to the 3 Deep Golf Learning Center here at Ivey Ranch on the beautiful range. Today we got a real honor. We got Arvo Voip, the head pro from the Springs Club in Rancho Mirage, California. Arvo, play a lot of money games with Arvo. Arvo, I direct deposit into his account.
Somewhat.
Arvo, what do you want to talk about today?
Well, let's talk today about probably the most important thing in golf. It's the moment of truth. It's the striking of the golf ball or proper impact. We can do a lot of things that aren't the most coherent in our golf swing, but if we get back to a consistent impact position, we're going to be a fairly consistent golfer. Most of us struggle, as we've talked a lot, with consistent strike of the golf ball.
Yeah.
If you can strike a ball solid, you know how far it's going to go, you can play this game. If it's going 15, 20 yards between on every shot, we're just guessing, and guessing's not that much fun. So impact-wise, we need to create what we call a proper impact parameters. When we set up, the handle of the club's usually slightly forward. You look at most golf clubs, you set it flat on the surface, it's going to lean forward. We need to create that at impact. When we're at address, this isn't the position we want to be at impact. As we come through, we want to actually increase shaft lean.
So you're showing, do that again,
Yeah.
because that's a real interesting position. So if you can get face on with the camera so all the folks can see this. What did you just do with your left hip?
The left hip, the feeling is the left hip should go backwards.
Yeah.
You know, most struggle, and you see it on the tour players. The tour players are really good at creating a little lateral move, and then the hip pops backwards.
Yeah.
Most of us, including myself, I think you may fit into the bill, aren't athletic enough to do that.
Yeah.
Or to do it consistently. So the simplest feeling we can have is that this hip clears and the weight transfers into the left heel.
Mm-hmm.
We can now create space to lean the shaft forward. And that's the most important when it comes to striking a golf ball. If you set a golf ball down and you put the club flush to it, it's going to hit it right on the bottom of the club face. The only way we get that up is to lean it forward.
Yeah. You did one of the things, it was really interesting one time. We were hitting balls together, and you were simulating that impact position. Is that something you recommend to the average player?
You know, it is. We have to understand what that feels like and what it looks like. And so if we stand here and just look at the golf ball and hit the golf ball and go to here, we don't really have a feeling of what this looks like. So being able to simulate, and I'm still a big fan. I know he's struggling with golf, Matthew Wolf.
Yeah.
He did an interesting move. I don't want everybody to do to the extent that he did, but he would, as he got set up, he would set up. Well, what was he doing? He was trying to set a impact position into his mind before he swung the golf club. And so if we can get into that impact position where we're here and understand that as you're set up square, we're balanced, hands here, the club hasn't started moving. Once there's momentum here, if I stop right here where I am at setup, what's the club going to do? It's going to flip.
Typically it grounds out back here.
It usually hits 2 inches behind the ball.
Yeah.
And if you ever hit the ball that goes 10 yards or goes this high off the ground and 50 yards over the green, that's usually the common cause.
Yeah.
Right there. So understanding that you can get consistent with what impact feels like. And again, everybody's impact's different with their body movements. We all have different bodies, they all move differently, but what we have to be consistent is we have to be able to get the handle. And a feeling for me is I have an alignment stick right here. Do this a lot with short game, and it's a great way to find your impact is in short game, is to simply take the alignment stick down the shaft. When you set up, you feel it here on your left hip. Now, as we create impact, this shouldn't be whacking you in the side. If you stop here and you release the golf club too early, you're going to feel that.
Yeah.
And there's no better way to understand a bad feel than with negative consequences, which hit myself in the hip didn't feel good.
There was something you were doing a couple of weeks ago. You were talking about how you were releasing your hands from the speed angle in your own golf swing.
Yes.
Me and you, we give lessons to primarily a lot of people who have had hip replacements, have arthritis in the hips, knees that are shot. What do you recommend to somebody in that situation?
Well, much like we talked about, and this was something that I came to him for a little bit of help, is getting that feeling of not releasing it early. Can we get the feeling like we can get the club? It's almost like you're hitting a push. You're getting the club to travel from inside to out and get away from your body. Now, most cases when we flip the club or we don't rotate out properly, we flip and we're stuck. If you can't rotate out, Well, you can still get the handle out in front. If we can get here, even without the hips turning, we can still get here. The challenge becomes in a little bit of a follow through, but you can create a consistent strike. Nobody hits a great shot because they have a beautiful follow through or a beautiful golf swing. They hit a good shot because they have good impact.
Yeah.
And so impact, however we get there, is of the utmost importance. The big thing with impact is understanding it, because it happens in the process of the golf swing, so it's not a stationary position that we can feel. And so learning what that feels like is probably one of the most important parts to striking the golf ball solid.
So everybody watching this video are, you know, my average golfer that's watching this, if you were to give them 2 points from this video, what would those 2 points be?
I would say that point number one is to build that understanding of what your impact is. You know, we just don't have a good representation in our mind of what impact looks like. I ask people, and it's my favorite thing to do in a lesson, if you've had a lesson from me, you know this, show me impact. And you can see the wheels start spinning. Well, I'm not sure what impact looks like. So first things first is understand what impact is. And that is simply, can we create a little bit of rotation of the hips? Can we get the body moving forward? And can we get the handle to stay out in front of the golf ball?
Okay.
The second point to that is, can we make sure as we're creating impact that we're doing it right? Make sure we got a good strike. If you feel like you're mishitting it, understand your misses. If you're hitting behind the golf ball, understand that you were probably in this position. You didn't get good rotation. Most of the time, you hear the catchphrase early extension all the time.
Yeah.
Leads right to this. If on the way down we stand up, well then when we stand up, the body quits moving rotationally, and so the club does what? It flips. So understanding when you're off on impact, and make sure that you understand when you make good impact that you build a good feel for what your ball flight looks like out of that.
Yeah.
Because that's where we want to be consistent. If we can be consistent with impact, you're going to see it in your ball flight.
Yeah.
If you're, like we're talking here, if you're
You shouldn't
releasing
see a 7-iron go 80 and then 140.
correct. And you shouldn't see one go this way, one go this
Yeah.
way. We want to have it in it, and everybody has their own windows. We talk about this all the time. I have a little bit of an over-the-top move. My ball flight's lower. I don't have the prototypical tour ball way up in the air. Doesn't mean you can't play good golf doing that.
Yeah.
You know, but again, understanding your golf swing, swinging your golf swing, but having a feel for what impact is of the utmost importance to playing consistent golf.
Awesome. Arvo,
Hey,
you're the
it's
man.
always a pleasure.
Arvo Voip, Springs Club in Rancho Mirage. You can probably email him. Can outsiders get a lesson from you?
Always.
Good place to go. It's a great little club. One of the nicest places in Rancho Mirage. So if you ever get a chance and you're at the Springs, look up Arvo. Thanks, buddy.